Welcome to the Hillbilly RV channel. If you're new here, my name is Kenny. I am a hillbilly and I work on RVs. Today, I'm going to do a video that was requested a while back by one of my subscribers. So I just thought I would go over very basic RV electrical systems. It can be very confusing for a lot of people. You basically have 120 volt AC and you have 12 volt DC power in your coach, okay? Sometimes they kind of work together. So let's start with a 30 amp RV, and here is a picture of your shore cord, your plug. You've got your ground, you've got a hot leg, 120 volt AC. It is typically going to be a black wire. Your ground will be green. Forgot to mention that. And then you're going to have a neutral, which is typically going to be a white wire. So I did it in blue. Because I didn't think white would show up on a whiteboard. So that's basically it. You know, you got it's basically just like plugging an extension cord into a wall socket to an outlet. You got a ground, you got a hot, and you got a neutral. Ground, hot, and neutral. Okay. Now let's talk about what this does when it goes into your electrical panel. Let me draw you that real quick. Do y'all like my drawing? Do y'all like my new easel? I don't know. It's kind of low, but it keeps the glare off. So let me do some drawing. I'll be right back. So here we have a typical 30 amp panel box in a camper, in an RV. You have your shore cord power coming in. Your hot leg, your 120 volt AC leg, will go to a 30 amp breaker in your panel. Your ground will go to a ground bus bar, and your neutral will go to a neutral bus bar. And there's a lot of other wires in here, but just for simplicity, you're going to have 30 amp breaker, you'll have ground, neutral, a whole bunch of grounds, a whole bunch of neutrals, and several other breakers that go elsewhere. Now, not always, but in a lot of 30 amp travel trailers especially, all your 12 volt DC fuses will be over here and your converter is down here. We're going to talk more about the converter shortly. So the power comes in. There's a bus bar behind these breakers, so then it gets dispersed out on the other breakers. The power gets dispersed out on these other breakers to power everything else in the camper that requires 120 volt AC power. Got that? Let's move on to the converter. Your power converter. What does it do? It converts 120 volt AC to 12 volt DC to run the whole camper, charge the battery, and all that good stuff. Now there's going to be a wire that comes off one of these breakers down to your converter to supply the 120 volt AC power to the converter. Then there's a lot of magic goes on down here. Now I'm showing you a panel box that has a built-in converter in the bottom. Now they can be also separate. They can be just a separate converter. They call it a floor mount converter, but it can be anywhere. It can be on a ceiling, on a wall, on a floor. They can hide them a lot of strange places. Okay. Now, after all the magic happens down in here, the 12 volt comes up here to all of your fuses, and all of your 12 volt fuses, they go to lights, refrigerator, furnace, water pump, everything that runs on 12 volt DC in your coach, plus goes to the battery. Now, if you unplug your shore cord from the 120 volt AC, then the battery kicks in and it runs all this 12 volt stuff. That's what allows you to be able to dry camp with an RV. You do not need power to run most of the RV. I didn't say all the RV, most of the RV. And we're not even going to talk about we're not even going to go into inverters and solar and all that stuff. This is a basic RV Electrical 101. Any questions thus far? All right, now I'm going to try to draw you a diagram of how these work together on some of your appliances in your RV. Okay, we'll probably go through them one at a time, or I'm not sure yet. Hang tight. I decided to go ahead and hit them all at one time. All right, let's take your air conditioner first. You have 120 volt AC power that runs the fan and the compressor, but you have 12 volt that runs to the control. So now this is one of those appliances that you can't run if you don't have access to AC power, 120 volt AC power, because you need both. You need, like I say, you need the AC to run the fan and the compressor, and you need the 12 volt to run the controls. And yes, there are 12 volt air conditioners out there now. All right, we're not talking about those either. That's a whole nother thing. All right, your water heater. Now, your water heater, if you want to run it off of electric, you're going to have 120 volt AC to run the heating element, and then 12 volt DC to run the controls, just like the air conditioner. But most water heaters are, now we're talking about tanked water heaters. Tankless are another whole thing. Now a tank water heater will run, you can use it when you're dry camping because it will run on gas also. So, but you still have to have 12 volt DC to run the controls, even for the gas. So no matter what, it's got to work, it has to have 12 volt. Now, tankless water heaters, they don't require any electricity. I'm not aware of any of them that have a heating element in them. They are gas only, but you still have to have 12 volts to run the controls. All right. I've worked on a lot of RVs that was having 12 volt issues, and people call and they go, my air conditioner ain't working, my water heater ain't working, my refrigerator ain't working, but my plugs do. I can make coffee. Okay, it's because it's two different systems. Two completely different systems, but they do work together sometimes. All right, refrigerator. Ooh, there's a bad reflection on that, isn't there? Okay. RV refrigerator. That we're talking about an absorption refrigerator. It has ammonia in it. Now they also have, if you want to run it on AC power, you have to have AC power because it's got a heating element in it. Okay. Back in the day, they used to be three-way. They would run on 120 volt AC, 12 volt DC, or gas. Now, if you have an RV refrigerator, an absorption refrigerator, it's only going to be a two-way. It's going to work on 120 volt AC, and it's going to work on gas. All right. Same thing. You still have to have, no matter whether you're running on 120 volt AC or you're running on gas, you have to have a good 12 volt source to run the controls. Now, of course, yes, there are 12 volt refrigerators. Tons of 12 volt refrigerators. There's tons of residential refrigerators that don't require any 12 volt at all. But, they're just, this used to be a lot simpler, to be honest with you. Now it's kind of complicated. Now let's go a little bit farther with the DC. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have to draw a picture. We'll just talk about it. Now, just about everything else in your coach runs on 12 volt DC power. Your water pump, your lights, what else? What am I not thinking of? Fans, your ceiling, not a ceiling fan, but like your exhaust fans, your crank up exhaust fans. If you have a ceiling fan in your RV, chances are it's 120 volt AC because it's actually a residential fan. But of course, they make those 12 volt now also. It just keeps getting more and more complicated all the time. All right. All right, let me just draw you real quick a deck mount converter, and let's talk about that. Now, I showed you, and we talked about where your converter's built into the bottom of your power distribution panel. Now, they can be separated. You can have what we said was called a deck mount converter. Now, they can hide that sucker anywhere. Typically, it will be fairly close to, no, I can't even say that. A lot of times it's close to the distribution panel, power distribution panel, but they can hide it anywhere because all it requires is they just plug into an outlet. They can just run a 120 volt AC outlet anywhere, plug this converter in, and then all the magic happens inside the converter, and then you get your DC out, and it will leave the converter and it will just go to your power distribution panel for your 12 volt, and then it will go to the battery to charge the battery. And then sometimes it will have two outlets for 12 volt DC. One will go to your power distribution panel, one will go straight to the battery to charge the battery. It just depends on your coach. All right, now is that clear as mud? Everybody got that so far? Now let's talk about a 50 amp RV really quickly because we're not going to go back over all this stuff, but I want to talk about a 50 amp. Now, here is a very basic drawing of a 50 amp shore cord. All right, you've still got your ground, you've got your neutral, which is typically going to be a white wire. This is going to typically be a green wire. Then you have two 120 volt AC legs. Okay, typically one of those wires will be black, the other may be red. It can be other colors, but anyhow, so this basically is a 220. Okay, the 30 amp shore cord is 30 amp only. Do not plug your 30 amp RV into because you can wire a 30 amp receptacle 220 or 120. Don't plug it into a 220. Now this one's always going to be 220 just because it's got 220 volt legs. So 240, okay? 240, 220, 110, 120, all the same thing, okay? Don't get hung up on that. So yes, this is a 50 amp shore cord and a 50 amp system. Now let me draw you the power distribution panel real quick, and that's as far as we're going to go on this one, just to show you the difference between a 30 amp panel box and a 50 amp. I am getting to practice my drawing skills a lot today. Are y'all impressed? Probably not, because I suck at it. Alright, 50 amp panel box. So you're going to have your two 120 volt AC legs coming in from your shore cord to a double pole 50 amp breaker in your panel box. Okay, now you got one coming in the top, one into the bottom. Both of them's 120 volt, and then they go. This 50 amp breaker snaps into this bus bar for all the other breakers. So basically what happens is one side is powered by one leg, of your breakers. The other side of your breakers is powered by the other leg. And nothing in your coach is 220. So these single legs just go out to supply power for all of your AC appliances. Same as the 30 amp. It's running, your microwave. I forgot to mention microwave. It doesn't require any 12 volt. It's running your 120 volt side of your air conditioners, your refrigerator, your water heater. Okay, all this does is allow you to have more power in a camper. Because with a 30 amp RV, you can only have one air conditioner, technically. Okay, as long as it's a normal 120 volt air conditioner. With this, you can have two or more. You can never run more than two at a time, but you can have two or more air conditioners, because this is actually like two it's actually like 230 amp systems, only it's 50 amp instead of 60. But yeah, so that is basically it. That is a very, very basic RV Electrical 101 class. So I hope this answered all of your questions, or it thoroughly confused you, or I hope it done something. If it done anything for you, please consider giving this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not. Share my videos everywhere. If you're on forums, share them there. If you have friends that have RVs, share it with your friends, and it'll go a long ways to growing this channel. So I really appreciate y'all. I hope y'all have a fantastic day, and we will catch you next time.